This is Fred Beck from Fred Beck's Fighting. I'm joined over Zoom by JMX, landed in New Orleans. How's America?
It's beautiful. It's good. New Orleans is a crazy city. Like I've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely wild. But yeah, no, I like the vibe. It's good.
What's different? Why is it crazy?
Oh, it's like do you know? It's like Magaluf. Genuinely, there was some crazy festival this weekend, and it was like a really big Magaluf. It was just nuts. Like there was live music on all the time in the streets. It was pretty mental.
I've never been to Magaluf. I guess I'm going on Ibiza for the Misfits
Yeah.
in September. Are you going to go to that one as well?
Oh, 100%. That was it.
Everyone that week will be doing interviews, or well, no one will want to do any interviews, to be fair. But I
No,
think everyone will be wearing sunglasses that week and looking for other
yeah,
time.
most probably.
I'll probably be wearing sunglasses that week. We're doing a few interviews. Did this fight a week for yourself, Leveon Bell? He's quite a
Yeah.
tough opponent, probably tough to date. I didn't know until I interviewed Andy Taylor yesterday that he actually fought a former UFC fighter on Jake Paul's Anderson Silva's fight card. What did you make of
Yeah.
his performance back then?
I think it was a solid performance, considering it was, a very a high level opponent. Although, I mean, the UFC fight didn't look, Uriah didn't look particularly bothered. I think he took it like just on like a week's notice or something. So I think he was just, taking a payday. But it was a good performance. Like you can't knock him for that. To go 4 rounds with Uriah Hall was solid. So yeah, you got to respect that.
What do you think his biggest strength is, Levon?
I think it's hard to say for based on the footage. I don't know exactly what is going to come in, but I think inevitably he's going to be fast. He's gonna pack a bit of a punch. He's going to be quite explosive based on the American football side of things. So that's something that we've just got to be mindful of.
Mm. Yeah, certainly. I guess the American football crossover is just quite well into boxing. I'll ask the same question for yourself. What do you think your biggest strength is coming into Saturday night?
Um, I think. Oh, I mean, I don't want to give too many things.
Okay.
I'm thinking my power as well. I'm going to say
Yeah.
that.
What do you think in your skill set is most improved since the Ginty fight?
Ooh, a lot of things. I think, to be fair, like the Ginty fight was just a really poor representation. Like I didn't perform very well. So, but I've still, I think, distance management, being able to use my power, keep the range, but use the power from range, has improved a lot. My footwork has improved a lot. I'd say I'd pinpoint those.
You're always quite harsh on, on your Ginty performance. Do you think it
Mm-mm.
kind of plays into your hands at all? But Levon Belfry watches that and judges you off your last performance. Therefore, he might be underestimating you.
Potentially, potentially, I think it wouldn't be wise. He has mentioned before, he's watched the other fights, so I don't think he's going to be doing that, to be honest. But I mean, I hope so.
Mm.
I hope so.
In a fight week, do you think he'll be talking trash, trying to get in his mind, or do you think he'll be more kind of calm and reserved? How will it go?
We'll see. Like, I think I'm anticipating him to try and switch it up, and because he's been playing the nice guy, and then I'm anticipating he's going to try and turn it up and switch that around. So we've seen that. So I'm pretty chill in there. I'm away from home. I'm chilling in the sun. So and I know I've got to go in and do a job. So we're just going to roll with the punches and make sure we get it done.
Certainly. Just one more thing on the fight before we move on to a few other topics. How do you see it truly playing out on Saturday night?
I'm round three knockout.
Round three, and it's 4 rounds, correct?
Yeah, it's 4 rounds. Yeah,
Why round three?
because I think there's going to be a feeling out process, and I don't think he's going to go down on the first shot.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see, Joel. Definitely be a good fight. I thought it's unfortunate. Why do you think this fight might have flown under the radar, or this full card might have flown under the radar, considering it's such a big fight, you and Levon Bell, probably one of the most competitive main events they've had so far on Misfits.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a couple of things. There's lots of events around the same amount, around the same time. There's obviously the next Misfits card has a lot of big people on, certainly from the UK. So I think both of those maybe come into play. And then you've got lots of general like mainstream boxing events around the same time as well. As well as Creator Clash last weekend. There's been just loads of things that have probably been relatively unfortunate in terms of the timings. So I'd imagine that's sort of played into it.
Timing is a big thing in everything, but I guess once it's happened, people look back and be like, "Oh, it was quite a big event." Because I
Yeah.
think if we use the Telford show, the last event as an example, everyone was saying that was me a boring show, but it turned out to be quite a sold out, entertaining one. So yeah, it's got to play it by year. I'm sure it'll do quite good numbers. Yes, but actually speaking of numbers, it'll be interesting to see if it does more views than the Kingpin show, because Kingpin is
Mm.
pay-per-view, arguably a better card. But then again, pay-per-view, and your show maybe a bit less of a card, but not pay-per-view. So we'll see how those
Mhm.
kind of numbers way up. But apart from Le'Veon Bell, were you offered any other fights apart from him?
Yeah, so how the Le'Veon Bell came about actually was initially I was talking to Mams, and initially Mams actually offered me Salt Pappy. And he's like, he offered it Salt Pappy. I was like, okay, he's down to fight. I said yes because I was like, that is a big challenge. I want that fight. That is a way to prove myself. It's a massive fight in the scene. Salt Pappy is one of the best guys out there. So I said yes. I took that challenge. Then Mams came back to me and said, oh, Salt Pappy actually, he didn't take it. He didn't want it. Which was, and he was surprised about that. I was a bit surprised about that. So then that's actually how then they offered me Josh Bruckner or Le'Veon Bell, and I was like, well, Josh Bruckner's probably the easier fight, but he's just been knocked out. There's nothing for me to gain from taking that fight. I wanted to fight Sop Happy, and then Sop Happy's just knocked Josh out. I'm not gonna take that because I have to go in there, knock Josh out, and just to basically get by, and that's not even impressive because Salt Happy just did it. So I think I was in my head, I just thought Le'Veon, the fight made sense. He's a big personality in the US, and he's definitely up there. And when I do win that fight, it's going to be a massive statement.
Why do you think Sop Happy was it Sop Happy declining the fight, or was it Mams not wanting to put it on? What was the reason of it?
No, so Mams wanted to put it on. I don't know for whatever reason, Sop Happy didn't want to do it. There could have been a fair explanation, but yeah, Mams wanted to put it on. I think Mams thought Salt Pappy would take it, or had said he'd take it initially. So he offered it to me. I said yes, and then he went back and said, "Oh, Pappy didn't take the fight."
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
feel I'm interviewing Sop Happy soon, so I will ask him about it. Obviously,
yeah,
he's
find
fighting
out.
Andy Taylor. He's fighting Andy Taylor now, so that's quite an interesting fight. How does that go? Sop Happy and Andy Taylor.
I think that's an easy fight for Pappy, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do
I
you
thought,
not?
well, everyone's saying it's so competitive. I was talking to Mamson about it last night, and he was like, "That's a competitive, really, really good fight." Everyone I've talked to about it, kind of up there in the scene, rates it very, very highly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be competitive in the fact that Andy Taylor can probably take a shot and it'll go a while, but I don't. I think Salt will probably walk it relatively easy. I think Josh Bruckner's a harder fight than Anthony Taylor.
That fight's third from the top, so it goes Sop Happy, Andy Taylor, Digi Swarms, and then KSI Joe Fournier. So it's pretty good
Yeah,
stack.
it's a stat card.
But a win over Levon Bell, where does that take you? Who's next after that?
Well, that's what JJ said the other day. Yesterday, I think it was Logan Paul. He wants the winner to take Logan Paul. So I think we've been talking about it the whole time. It's gone on for ages, and I get this dub. It's Logan Paul next.
Will Logan be there in attendance watching? KSI won't be there, but will Logan?
I have no idea. Knows probably not. He's probably shitting himself.
Nate Diaz will be there though.
Yes, Nate Diaz. What a
That's
guy.
really dope. Yeah, that's really dope. You know something will happen backstage.
Yeah, it's gonna pop
It
off.
won't when Nate Diaz returns. It's never very smooth sailing. But you looking forward to this fight week though? Overseas,
Yeah,
fighting in America.
definitely.
Excited?
I mean, it's the dream, right? To be able to just be able to box like on this level with in front of this amount of fans and have supporters behind me is amazing. If I told like young me that I'd be able to go on and do this, like they would never believe you. So I'll believe me. So it's amazing. And then to be able to fight in America is sick. So yeah, I'm super excited. This camp's been amazing. And I've improved so much. So yeah, I'm excited to get in there and get the job done.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thanks so much, Joel. You gonna be back straight after the fight? You're gonna stay out in the US.
I think I'm going to Mexico. So I'm going to go to Cancun after, chill out for a couple of days, and then fly back to London.
Okay, blimey. Have a nice time away. Everyone takes a break. Alex Wasabi is going on holiday now after his win. Nick Gallimore went to Singapore, so it's nice to take
It's
a little
been
bit.
a it's been a rough camp. You gotta relax a little bit.
That's fair enough. Joe, I appreciate you coming on. I know you're busy in 5 weeks, so I'll make sure to see you
No,
soon.
sure.
Thank you.
Big up, friend. See you later, bro.